I used to waste hours scrolling, pulled in a million different directions, missing moments with my kids, and still feeling behind by dinner, and I hated it. But this simple, cheap notebook was a game changer. It helped me finally retrain my brain and actually be present at home. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use it in just 3 minutes a day to scroll less, to focus more, to become the kind of homemaker that I actually want to be. Let's talk about why we keep grabbing our phones even when we don't mean to. It's become our default. Not because we're lazy or undisciplined, but these apps are designed to keep us hooked. Tech companies literally hire the same engineers who design slot machines. They know how to trigger dopamine, which is the brain's reward chemical that's linked to pleasure, but it's also linked to addiction. So before we realize it, we're picking up our phone and we're scrolling again. Maybe you open your phone to check your calendar and make a list, and before you realize it, you're 20 minutes into scrolling Instagram and you forget why you picked up your phone in the first place. For me, it used to happen all the time. I'd pull out my phone to do something productive, but instead and leave feeling more behind and scattered and distracted. I hated that feeling, and I don't want my children's childhood memories to be ones of me constantly looking at a screen or looking at my phone or just being distracted and not present with them. And that's when I started using a notebook instead. It's helped me in three powerful ways. One, it's given direction to my days. When I take the time to plan on paper, I am less likely to be tempted to pick up my phone and be distracted because I already know what matters and what needs to happen that day. Versus if I don't have much direction to the day and it feels more aimless, then I'm much more likely to be distracted and want to pick up my phone as if I don't have a million things to do. The second way that I use it, and I'm going to get into this more later, is I use it for visual and tangible rewards, AKA what we're seeking whenever we pick up our phone and get a hit of dopamine, but it's just in a much more healthier and productive way. The third way that it's powerfully helpful is this has become my way to think I'm not getting pings or notifications. I don't have multiple tabs open. It just really helps me so much to get my thoughts on paper, not to be tempted by all the infinite possibilities on a screen or on a phone. Screens divide our attention and paper anchors it. And for busy moms like you and me, our time and our focus is so limited and it is so precious. We don't want to waste it. But it's not just about having a notebook, it's how you use it. And what made the biggest difference for me is what I started doing every Sunday. The most powerful 30 minutes of my week happen on Sunday. When I skip it for whatever reason, if we're out of town or we have someone over, I feel it. If I don't find time to plan and make up for it, the whole week is foggier. I end up reacting to things instead of moving calmly through it. That contrast between when I do plan and when I don't is what convinced me that this Sunday reset really does work and it is very effective. So I try not to miss it. Every Sunday, I spend about 30 minutes planning out my week and I use my notebook to do that. And I'm going to show you what that's like. I usually have a good, nice little week at a glance, kind of like in a normal planner, but better because of all the other things I'm going to talk about. But here I'll write down my appointments, my outings, just anything that affects or changes our rhythm. I will write that down. I also like to go ahead and do a quick meal plan so that I'm not spending extra money. I'm not scrambling the day of or when people are hungry. I'm making the decisions ahead of time. I can look at our fridge and see what we have and plan accordingly. And then if I don't have an ingredient, I will just flip over to my shopping list for the week. And then I'll talk more about that in a minute. And also, the great thing about a notebook is I have a spot for anything I want. I actually have a list of go-to meals to make it easier when I'm meal planning. I'm not having to reinvent the wheel or do a lot of brainstorming. It's already here, things that my family likes and things that are easy. So I will look back and then I'll plug it in here. So the other thing that I like to do is I'll do some habit tracking. I've done the 31-day or 30-day ones, and that's great. But for me in busier seasons, the 7-day tracker helps keep me on track without getting overwhelmed. So to do, if you like habit tracking for a month, what you can do is basically write down 1 through 30 or 1 through 31, depending on the month, and write your habits up here. Draw yourself a few lines, make your grid, and there you go. You got your habit tracker in the same place. Super helpful. And the other thing that I'll do on Sundays for my reset is I will have 2 master lists, one for my running to-do list for the week. When I'm doing my evening planning, I'll pull from this to-do list and plug it into a given day. Anything that's left over, it rolls over to the next week. But the other list I'll have, like I said, is my shopping list. We buy in bulk, so I'll write my bulk list and I'll write my odds and ends at the Kroger or Walmart or whatever, and then my online. Taking time on Sunday to lay the foundation means the rest of the week just takes minutes to maintain. There's no more reinventing the wheel every morning, no more phone grabbing just because I don't know what to do next. It's super helpful. If you want help creating weekly routines like this for your home, I created a free mini training that will help you do just that. You can grab that down below. But let's go ahead and get back to this. Even with the weekly plan, what really anchors my day to day is what I do the night before, and that's what I'm going to touch on next. If I don't plan the night before, I wake up already behind. There have been many mornings where I'll wake up early, but then I end up scrambling for 30 minutes because I didn't take 3 minutes the night before to plan the day. And I'll be honest, on mornings like that, I'm much more likely to reach for my phone and more likely to be snappy. Anyway, it's just this little habit is super helpful at helping the day go smoothly. 95% of the time, it literally takes 3 minutes or less to get set up for the next day in my notebook. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. It's super simple. So what I do is I'll open up to my week at a glance that we talked about earlier. I'll look at the day that, see if I have any appointments, what I'm doing for dinner, and I will basically pull it over on whatever day. So I write out any set commitments. Usually I'll write that up here, any appointments or errands or anything we need to do out of the house. And then I will pull from my master to-do list and I'll write down a couple of things up here that I need to get done. I especially write down 1 or 2 priorities depending on the season of life and the type of day that it is to knock out during the day, usually when the kids are resting or preoccupied. And then I like to have a section for things that I want to talk to my husband about. That's not what I planned the night before. It's usually things that I don't want to forget during the day. And then I decide the night before what a couple activities that I want to do with the kids at some point. And then I write my dinner plans down here. It just helps the day go so much more smoothly. It's super simple and it takes only like 3 minutes. Having a plan is super powerful, but what really helps me is having a place to dump all my thoughts without lots of extra noise or notifications or being pulled in the endless abyss of the phone. And I found some really helpful ways to use my notebook that you don't expect, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. One of the things about using a notebook that I was pleasantly surprised by, I've learned to use it for more things than just checking off boxes or meal planning. I have one spot where I can brainstorm and dump everything, and they're not bouncing around in my head or stealing my attention. I'm not getting distracted. It's super helpful. So for example, this is where I will jot down packing lists. It's where I put our project list. It's where I put supplement schedule or things I'm trying to keep track of for medication. I actually use it to brainstorm content ideas and to outline my videos. It's nice because you can do it in order. For example, this week I'm going to be packing to go somewhere. And so I open it up to my week, and as I'm doing my weekly planning, I just open up to the next page and I write my packing list. So it just keeps life super simple when it's all in one notebook. Things are not getting lost on Post-it notes or in a separate notebook. It's all in one spot and it fits in my purse. I can take it anywhere. I also don't have to reach for my phone to remind me to do things. It's just my notebook. I found it to be super helpful. But there's one more thing that I've learned that was a brand new concept to me, so I want to share that with you. It's called a dopamine menu. You remember how we talked about how the brain is chasing dopamine hits whenever we open up our phone and scroll? In the back of my notebook, I've started a dopamine menu. And here's what that is. Instead of reflexively reaching for your phone, when your brain went to break, you flip to your list of quick, life-giving options that give your brain that dopamine hit, but it's in a way that actually aligns with the kind of homemaker that you want to be. Maybe it's lighting a candle, stepping outside barefoot, snuggling up, reading a book to your child, knocking out a 5-minute tidy, whatever. These are tiny actions that shift your momentum and start rewiring your brain to be toward your home and children and not impulsively go towards your phone. So this page is super simple. It's broken up into 5-minute resets, 15-minute focused blocks or recharges, and then real rewards at the bottom that I can look forward to, like a bath or a walk with my husband or a good book after the kids are in bed. Basically, it's just a list that I've come up with it ahead of time so that, if I have a moment, I can be towards my home, I can be productive, I can pour into my family the way that I really want to, and I don't have to give in to temptation to scroll when I am wanting some kind of a break. This might sound small, but having it all in one notebook, your plans, your thoughts, and your resets, builds serious traction over time. Doing something like this trains your brain to go somewhere else for pleasure that's not your phone. And unlike your phone, these things are actually life-giving and help you pour into the home that you're wanting to build. And that, my friends, is how the simple, cheap notebook keeps me grounded in my life and not someone else's. If you want help building rhythms that bring peace to your home and help you truly enjoy your role as a mother and a homemaker, keep an eye out because my free masterclass is coming out soon. In the meantime, you can grab that free mini training that I've linked down below to help you get started. It will not only help you take steps towards a more ordered and peaceful home, but it'll also keep you in the know. You'll be one of the first ones to know about the free masterclass that's coming out soon. If this video is really helpful to you, I would love to hear how, and I would love to hear what you would like for me to touch on at another point. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.